made the poorest poorer? You, Labour. You're the ones that did this to our society.
I don't take lectures in poverty from the party of the rich.
You have turned these green and pleasant lands into a country of benefit spongers, single parents, and a government that bows to aggressive minorities. Soon there'll be minarets in Whitehall.
The minorities you represent have servants doing their lobbying, butlers to hold open the doors to opportunity.
You don't fund the military. You prefer to pay low-income people to have children and thus increase child poverty. You speak about obesity and yet you have a bloated public service and all your quangos. This country is going down the chute.
If you vote for Cameron, Brown or Clegg at the next election, you will not even be able to crap at it. Your arsehole will be in Westminster.
Let's look at the facts of the matter.
Here come the lies.
You cling to data the way a drunkard clings to lampposts. You make statistics be all things to all men. That's if you don't lose the data first.
You promise to mend a society that isn't broken. You promise to build a bridge even when there is no river.
If you want a modern, compassionate Conservative, go for the real thing. Vote for Dave. Gordon Brown is an analogue politician in a digital age.
We are the party for now and for the future.
We have a Prime Minister that cannot move with their times. In a carbon-conscious world, we've got a fossil fuel Chancellor.
When Gordon Brown was a student, he produced a document entitled Alternative Edinburgh. In it, he said, whatever the reason the so-called welfare state was brought into being, it can and must be used to its full extent.
Seeds of the future.
David Cameron at the same age was drinking champagne in the Bullingdon Club, whose members gloried in trashing restaurants.
10 aristocrats in search of an ASBO.
Gordon Brown. Decided only to be undecided. Resolved to be irresolute. Adamant for drift. Solid for fluidity. All-powerful to be important.
Cameron is like a lizard on a rock. Alive but looking dead.
Gordon Brown couldn't see a parapet without ducking behind it.
Dave could not see a parapet without seeing the potential for an advertising hoarding.
Tony Blair is the ultimate air guitarist of modern political rhetoric.
Cameron is democratic enough to talk to anyone.
What about policies? Show us your differences.
You know what it's all about? Jealousy. All because I have got a very, very, very large house. Some people say it looks like Balmoral.
Will you look after the old?
With great reluctance. No one takes pleasure from people making money out of the misery of others, but that is a function of capitalist markets.
You're still out of touch.
That really takes a biscuit. In fact, talking of biscuits, 12 times your leader was asked what his favourite biscuit was, and yet he couldn't answer. How could you run this country?
The answer is absolutely anything with a bit of chocolate on it, but trying very hard to cut down.
You have trouble identifying your favourite foods.
Traditional things like steak and all that. And I love spaghetti, bolognese, carbonara, all those things. So I like these things. I like Chinese food, Indian food, I like English food, British food. I like French food. Anything, really.
What are your fucking policies?
Dear, I think it's time for a charm offensive.
Think of your children's children.
Let's just draw a line under it and move on.
Don't ignore the elephant in the room.
No room for complacency.
We listen and will consider our position.
The facts speak for themselves.
Thank you for a full and frank discussion.
We will climb the greasy pole together.
We seek for there to be one nation.
We must not be headless chickens.
We want the hearts and the minds of people, though I cannot comment on individual cases.
What are your policies?
I'm answering it in my own way.
Policies? You wouldn't know policy if it bit you in the Chilcots.
I'm not ruling anything out, and I'm not ruling anything in.
Having said that, lessons must be learned.
There are no easy answers.
We seek for all to have the moral high ground.
We'll ring-fence the roadmap, sing from the same hymn sheet, that is, in a safe pair of hands.
We will think the unthinkable, seek the third way, tick boxes and then realise where we are.
With respect.
Respect? What about respect for the electorate?
My combined family wealth is 30 million plus. I have no need to worry about poverty or paying school fees. You asked me to have respect for the electorate?
I am a man of my most recent word.
I will move mountains.
But end up merely throwing dirt. I have a brilliant mind.
Until it is made up.
Every question has two sides.
And then we take both, we have principles.
That are subordinate to our ambitions.
We don't tax too much.
We won't borrow too much.
For me, there is a mission for this country moving forwards. There are big, long-term decisions we've got to take as a nation.
We have no single redeeming defects.
Let me be clear, we're fit for purpose.
It's a turnout election.
Our policies are all top-down.
Not just for the metropolitan elite.
Remember, bad citizens are elected by good citizens who do not vote.
We get votes from the poor and campaign funds from the rich.
By promising to protect each from each other.
You can tell when politicians are lying, their lips move.
What would you have us do? You expect us to be sorry for what is happening, has happened, to this country.
It is poetry. It is about grief.
Politics is about grievance.
It's not public tears that we want.
Oh, I can do those.
But I could do it better.
We want policies we understand, principles we agree with, people we can trust.
We have policies.
And we have principles.
We want people to actually answer questions.
Well, I think I've done my 10 minutes. How about you?
Yep. I'll be putting in... I did an hour, though.
And I'll be submitting a petrol receipt for travel.
You came here by bicycle.
That's not the point. I have a claim form and a receipt.
I'm claiming hotel accommodation.
But only live 5 minutes away.
I know. I forgot. The Tories even gave me a special allowance towards shining my shoes, because they assume I'm the butler.
I hope they get in. There'll be plenty more work when, then as they explain why they're ignoring their manifesto.
Yes. See, the public see Labour as the evil ones, but maybe one day we'll grow up in politics and say that definite things which mean something, rather than go on using generalities to which everyone can subscribe and which mean very little.
Who cares anyway? Would you like a rosette? Different colour? Same policies?
No, I won't pick a bloody rosette. It will probably self-destruct in 5 seconds. I came here to learn something to help me choose. All I got was recycled pap. I'm off. I'm off to join the biggest party of all, the non-voters.